Now, when Brian Thompson was first gunned down in cold blood, I did a reading on Brian, and I saw Luigi, who ended up being identified the next day as the suspect who had allegedly taken his life. So you guys asked me if I would do a follow up, and there really isn't much here, but I did pull cards on it, so I'm gonna tell you what I see. Because what is here is pretty interesting. My name is QueenAusetHeru, and thank you for joining me for the wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to anyone and everyone who might like it too. Please drop us a positive comment in the comment section. Tell us what you think about this situation with Luigi. Um, if you want to get a reading done, I would love to give you a reading. Please hit me up. My information will be underneath this video. The first thing you're going to see underneath this video are the cards that I'm getting ready to use. I'm using two different decks. And then you're going to see my information. And then there's a lot of other information underneath this video, including my Patreon. We would love for you to join us on Patreon. Patrons get all my videos early when I do them. So it would be really cool if you joined. All right, Luigi, what is the deal? The first card, I said, why did Luigi kill Brian? The first card here is the Temperance card reversed. This is telling me, first of all, you got to understand something about Luigi. Luigi not all there. I'm telling y'all, Luigi has mental health problems. This card right here, this is about somebody whose chemicals are imbalanced. So even though, because a lot, I feel like if you look here, you're going to notice that Luigi is celebrated by a lot of people. Not because they condone murder or they think murder is great, but a lot of people celebrate Luigi because they feel as though he's fighting against an unfair, unjust system. The healthcare system in the United States has been problematic since, I think, forever. I don't ever remember a time when people weren't complaining about it. So Luigi is seen as being this hero, for people who have been done dirty by the American healthcare system. So I get that, but you have to understand something. Luigi, he's right about the fact that there has been some injustice, but he is mentally imbalanced. That's why the temperance card is reversed. So it's like, okay, yeah, he's right about what he's saying. He's very intelligent, by the way, but he's mentally unbalanced. So if you're an intelligent person and you can figure out conspiracies and stuff like that, but you have mood shifts, you have imbalance issues, you have mental health problems, you're going to come up with solutions to these kind of problems when you're impatient and frustrated. You're going to come up with solutions that may not be the best thing. You know, I'm thinking he was correct about what he was saying, but maybe he could have written a book. Maybe he could have went on talk shows. Maybe he could have handled it in a different way, is my point. Because he's not wrong about what he was saying. It's just the way that he took action. That's what's coming up here. He's very talented. He's very intelligent. But he didn't. I mean, he could have even convinced others and probably could have done something. He probably could have done something that would have been helpful in a way that wouldn't have gotten him in trouble, is my point. He could have done this legally. He could have wrote a book. He could have did a documentary. He could have done so. He's an engineer. He could have come up with something groundbreaking. He has so many other ways that this could have been done than what he did. And he did it that way because the man is imbalanced. So I'm not disagreeing with people about his just cause. I'm disagreeing with how he handled it. That's the issue right here. Um, so that was what made him do this to Brian. His ideals, his goals, his values, which are very much on point as far as people should not be treated that way. But it was because that was Brian's job. So it's not that Brian did anything to Luigi specifically. He is an example. He is he's one example, because there's a couple of ones, but he's an example of this kind of corruption, this kind of unfairness happening to people. So it wasn't really like he chose Brian specifically. He just chose somebody who was an example. Anybody in the healthcare industry who was high up is an example of that. It's, a representative, I'll say, of the healthcare system, a representative of the healthcare industry. So taking him out and his, twisted logic was going to, expose what's going on in the healthcare industry. And look at this again: King of Swords reversed, twisted logic. The swords is communication and thoughts. So he had twisted logic about this guy's job. He's right about what's going on, but it's just the way he handled it. Okay? Now, this card right here, let's flip it over. It is the moon card. Okay? It's in the reverse. That's number one. What's this one right here? It is the Four of Pentacles, again in reverse. So, the moon card, a lot of you know, means lunacy. It means lunacy. And he also wanted to expose the healthcare industry. He wanted people to know what was happening, because a lot of stuff that was going on, a lot of people did know. A lot of people have experienced this before, having their claim denied for no good reason. It could be because somebody made a clerical error. It's a number of different things that happen, but sometimes it's on purpose. So he wanted to bring light to that, the dark side of the moon. He wanted to shed light on the dark. So he wanted people to see what was going on. That's the ideology behind his thought process. But because he is lunacy, crazy, the moon reverse, that's why it came off the way that it did. And it's really just a power struggle. Four of Pentacles reversed. It's the power struggle. He was really struggling by himself, because the other person, the healthcare industry wasn't really aware of him, except for, whatever interaction he might have had. Because remember, they said that Luigi has back problems. And I don't know what happened with his insurance or nothing, if anything happened at all. But he had beef with them around this kind of thing, healthcare. So this Four of Pentacles being reversed is saying that he really wanted to shed light on that. He was power struggling with them pretty much on his own. They really weren't struggling back, unless he had, something personal happen, which they talked about his back being the personal thing. So that is what is going on here. Also, he had this thing about sacrificing himself for the people. Part of his flawed thought process was that he would sacrifice himself. He would take one for the team, And I'm just like, Luigi, I just feel like there's other ways he could have done this. I really do, especially with his intelligence. I'm like, I don't feel like he had to do it this way. Let's see. I wanted to look at his court case, right? And see how things are going to go. That's it right there. Let me put these down. All right, so his court case, King of Pentacles reversed. Oh, boy. This court case is a fiasco. I think we already know that. We've already seen the pictures. They're parading him around. Like he is in Gotham City somewhere. It's going to be continued to be handled with that level of vibration. I remember somebody was offering to pay his fees. So they were saying that people, have been, just regular citizens have been offering to pay his fees. The King of Pentacles is reversed, so that might be something that he definitely needs. Let me see something. It says here, because his legal battle is going to be very expensive. That's what that vibration is given. The state, the country is trying to bankrupt Luigi. The idea is that if he do get away with this, which they're going to try to make sure he does not get out, because a lot of people are like, let Luigi go, free Luigi, give him a pardon. They're not trying to hear that. I'm telling y'all straight up, if you waiting for the federal government to pardon him based on his ideologies or whatever the case is, don't hold your breath. They have no intentions upon doing that. Their intentions is to bleed him dry so that he is broke. He is broke. He at the end of this, trial. That's the expectation right there. Um, how else is the trial going to go? Nine of Swords reverse. Oh God. So it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult for everybody involved. The family of the victim. There's going to be a lot of sadness coming from them. Heartbroken. It's going to be a lot coming from Luigi's family. Luigi himself. It's going to be a lot of that kind of anxiety and heartbroken nature. Outcome: the Hanged Man. They are going to try to get rid of him. They're going to try to give him the death penalty. Seriously. And if his state doesn't have the death penalty, he's going to get life, which basically is death. If you in jail for the rest of your life, that to me, that's basically death. So it's either one of those vibrations, but they're going to try to keep him hung up forever. Is the point? Either taking him out of here or keeping him forever. So they're not going to make this easy on him at all. And this is the Four of Wands. So his family, Luigi's family, are going to be very. I don't see them as being supportive, first of all, and they're upset. I mean, I guess I would be too. Can you imagine your child did something like this? I think I'd be upset too. I'd be heartbroken, and that's what the vibration I'm getting from the family, like this heartbrokenness. I feel like they are kind of being there, but not in a nurturing way that I would want if I was in this type of situation. And Luigi got the Knight of Cups. So he's going to continue to gain favor. He has favor, I'm telling you. Women want to date him, which I cannot. Listen here. If a person murdered somebody else, that's the last person I'm even going to date. I don't care why they did it. They could have even unless it was self defense. I will give you that. If it was self defense, a situation, I could understand that. But somebody who planned and premeditated something like this is the last person in the world I want to be with. What if I make them mad? What if I do something? But women are, and men, people, I'm going to say, are throwing themselves. He's probably, I don't know, but this is the kind of vibration of somebody who would get letters in prison, people offering to pay his bills, people wanting to, be in love with him, want to be with him. The same kind of way I remember Jeffrey Dahmer, what was that other guy's name? Charlie Manson. They had the same kind of thing go on. People trying to, basically romance them. That young lady, Gypsy Rose, who offed her mother. People was doing the same thing with her. So he's getting that kind of treatment. People wanting to be with him, wanting to give him help, wanting to give him love, and he's going to gain more and more of that throughout this trial. And once people hear what he has to say about, because the American healthcare system is going on trial with him. And anybody who's following this trial or who's listening to this is going to be listening for that. And I've already seen it from people internationally. People are talking about this. And so he's going to gain more and more favor. A lot of people are not angry with him because they've been treated unfairly in some type of way, and they sympathize with that. And that's going to keep happening. The country is going to keep on, criminalizing him because what he did was a crime, and everybody else in the world or not everybody, a lot of people in the world are going to keep on saying what he's talking about is just, and he's correct. That is wrong, but this isn't how you deal with it. See the crown on his head? See? Personal power. He's going to keep gaining that favor. The people love Luigi. A good portion of the people love Luigi because they see him as this vigilante. You know how romanticized things like this can be. The vigilante that takes things into his own hands, and it's like, there's a lot of things he could have done and it didn't have to be that. And the other thing is, when you do something like this that's perceived, it has a negative to it, you mess up your own cause like that. you know, because a lot of people who have experienced this, he could have been a voice for those people. Now it's like the government and everybody, the law enforcement, everybody like that is going to be painting him as this bad person, you know, as this criminal. I don't think Luigi is a bad person. I think Luigi is a sick person. I think Luigi is a chemically imbalanced person who is very intelligent, and his ideals took him to this place based on these cards. And I also think that he enjoys his ego, enjoys the attention, enjoys, you know, he has some level of enjoying the celebrity status that he has now, you know, acquired. That's there too. There's going to be a lot of obstacles here. Look at that right there. The government and their legal team, the prosecution, I think they're called. Isn't he the defense and they're the prosecution? I think that's how it goes. That they're going to be trying to throw every obstacle, every monkey wrench, everything, and his lawyer is going to give it right back. His lawyer going to give it right back. So you're going to see a lot of that energy. We've already seen some of it. And they're going to try to distract us because remember I said the healthcare system is going on trial with Luigi. The government and the media that they control are going to do their best to distract us from that aspect of it and keep trying to remind us about this heinous crime. See, they want us to ignore why he did it and the ideology and his manifesto and all that kind of stuff. They want us to ignore that because, again, that puts the healthcare system on trial. They want us to ignore that and pay attention to the fact that Luigi committed a crime. But these two things come together, so they're going to do everything they can to distract us from that as a, you know, as a collective. And I think you need to pay attention to both. I think you need to pay attention and just listen objectively to everything, because some of the stuff that Luigi says and or has said and other people have said too, other famous people, smart people have said too, it's not like he's 100% wrong in the things that he thought and felt. He's just 100% wrong with, in my opinion, how he handled it, because if he had handled it in a different way, he wouldn't be in jail. He might have been just as famous though, but not in jail. You know, somebody would not be, you know, deceased. You know, there's ways he could have handled this that I feel as though would have turned out better for everybody involved. So that's what you're going to find out. So that's what's going on right now. When the trial gets underway, it's not going to be for a long time, but when the trial does get underway, as things start to develop, we'll look deeper and ask for more details. But right now, this is what we see. All right, loves, I am QueenAusetHeru, and you please come back soon because I got a lot more to say. See you later.